Well, that was it. Oh, come on. This is the final, I mean, I can't stop now. This is the final thing, and I've beaten this game in pretty much one, He was happy there for a minute. Yeah, I think it's harder than it should be because of the. I think it's being harder than it's supposed to be because the scrolling is out of control. Okay, what if I scroll? If I keep the mouse inside this box, it moves more controlled, I guess. A bit. I don't get it. I don't know if this was what it was originally like. The problem is I gotta get it here and then get to set that the destination, but moving the mouse. Yeah, it keeps when I click set when I move the mouse to do set destination. Hold on. This is I was hoping I get a clue about. All right, let me read this because I think this is just screwed up because of the. All right, let me just read this thing through. I'm thinking maybe it's because of it's the modern computer. So to control the navigation helmet. Stop moving, lock a coordinate, unlock. Okay. But it's not working. Tab works. Oh, okay. So I can Got it. Alright, so there's keyboard controls. I just need to keep this here. And the keyboard controls are kind of weird. This is down. No, it's not. What's down? That's down. I thought that was supposed to be up. And then tab doesn't seem to work. Ay, Dios mío. I'm supposed to just find multiple star coordinates and use them to somehow zoom in. Oh. Hold on, okay. Once you've locked on a coordinate, spinning around trying to figure out how to get to the other one. Okay. I need to get this keyboard controls back. X and Z, which aren't doing anything anymore. They did before, now they don't. So I can. The only thing that seems to work for this part is the mouse. I'm not sure why. If I'm not talking right now, it's because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm trying to concentrate as though that's helping. Now it feels like my mouse is dying, which is not actually happening. It's just, again, whenever I do get there, it's all going to go to hell anyway, so... I got function lock on. Maybe that's messing with something. Although I don't remember how to turn function... I'm forgetting how to turn function lock off. It shouldn't be changing anything, though. Oh, well that wasn't good. That unlocked a coordinate. Okay, so I just erased the little progress we had made. On second star, you only have 2 degrees of freedom, so control gets weird here. And press L to lock the second. Okay, so don't press D. Oh, well. I guess I'm lucky I'm close enough. This is what I gotta do now, is just find stars that are already close enough. Because the controls got all funky otherwise. Well, we've set a destination. Stop and cruise around. I either just won the game or I need to go redo the coordinates game. I think this is the actual fly towards whatever. Oh, and there's Earth. I guess. I assume I'm supposed to be from Earth, my character. We've gone over, but I think I just won the game, so it's okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Leovinus. You probably know that. I'm sorry about what's happened to you. I'm even more sorry about what's happened to me. You have lost a house. I have lost a life and a dream. You may not care about my life and my dream. Well, I don't really care about your house. Building this ship was my dream, and now that dream is over. All I want is the love of a good woman, and also a fishing rod. Thank you for restoring Titania. I know she isn't real. Well, she's real, but she's not really real, if you see what I mean. So, to be honest, I'm more inclined to place long-term faith in the fishing rod. By the galactic laws of salvage, this ship is now yours. There is nothing like her in the universe. I wish you joy of her. I hope you manage to sort out the bomb. As for me, don't try to look for me. You won't find me. My life's work is done, and I've gone fishing. Goodbye.
I don't know if that was Douglas Addams or not, but that's the end of the game. The 2 guys who betrayed him, I guess one of them we found dead in the restaurant. I guess the other guy that we found dead in the bilge room was the other guy. I don't know how they died. Maybe if you read the book, you'll find out. I don't know that I can really be that interested. Apparently, we decided to leave the ship and let's let it go and come back to our ruined house. Then we have an infinite supply of chicken with mustard sauce if we stayed on Titania. So yeah, he gives us this ship and we can explore the universe with it if we want. Somehow he sends us a message on a television located near our destroyed home that he's going fishing and don't go look for me. He doesn't really care about our house. So I call it an anticlimactic ending, but the game didn't really build up to much of an ending. I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't hate Starship Titanic when I played it at the time, and I don't hate it now, but it seems a bit, I don't know. A lot of puzzles didn't make a lot of sense. I like a game that has lots of puzzles, and some of them are fairly straightforward, and some of them are challenging, and they all make sense. Because even if you get a puzzle right away and it's not that challenging, you get a sense of satisfaction for solving it. So when a game only has, 90 minutes worth of 2 hours worth, whatever, of gameplay, if you know what to do from jump, I don't know, it just doesn't feel that satisfying. This game there's a couple of tunes from this game, particularly this one that's playing now, I remembered after I played the game, and that's kind of it. Even the goofy characters. This is one of the last games I remember that tried to do the whole, not speech recognition per se, but you type in and it's like, it tried to understand what you were saying. Like you would type in a command or type in dialogue and it would try to parser. It was a text parser. Not that many. Oh, so he was Lenovo's. Okay. And he was a succubus. Oh, that's kind of cute. I didn't know that. So yeah, you didn't see John Cleese in the credits. It's the guy who sounded a lot like him. And it was Douglas Addams. This is, an older chap by this point. But I do remember finding this ending a bit depressing because Douglas Addams, who, you can go find clips of him on TV chat shows over the years, and I guess he's had I don't know if he's appeared on camera in any of the adaptations of his own work, but I happen to know from reading some of his own, I don't know, did he write an autobiography, I think? He did write an autobiography. And there was he had a little bit of autobiographical stuff, and then they padded it out with some other writings about his works. And they got a whole book out of that. But I don't know how things were for him near the very end of his life. But after the success of Hitchhikers, he had some pretty miserable times. I don't have a lot of details on it. It sounds like it was personal stuff. Who knows? Could have been stuff with family or a woman, whatever. But, he wrote So Long and Thanks for All the Fish was the kind of original ending of the Hitchhikers series, in a sense. Which is weird. How could the fourth book of a trilogy be the original ending? But I remember for a long time that was kind of the big ending of the series. And in that, he finds Arthur Dent, who is the main character, who is this confused Englishman wandering around the universe. In some ways, felt like he might have been a stand-in for Douglas Addams. Maybe not. But yeah, in that book, he finds the love of his life and soulmate, and it's just a really happy overall kind of book. And boom, we just go right back to good old games. So, not much of an ending for this one. But yeah, now I'm going off on a tangent here. Oh, good, security settings have been occurred, or security activity occurred. Yeah, that's great. No, but he kind of that was the end, and then I don't know if he needed to do it for money or if he just thought it was a good idea. He wrote a fifth book called Mostly Harmless, which is the main reason I wouldn't recommend people plow through all the way to the end of Hitchhikers, because it's just a really bleak and depressing book. It's still got humor in it. It's still funny, but it's really downbeat. Arthur, the love of Arthur's life, Fenchurch. Spoilers, I guess, but it's so random and it's so quickly and just it's like it happens in the first few pages of this novel, and it's given almost no time. So it's kind of like, can you spoil a story by talking about something that happens in the opening scenes? Maybe not. Very early in the fifth novel, we find out that Arthur has been separated from the love of his life because they were quantum jumping around the universe and they just got separated, and it's never really described. I think got curious. I was reading about it online, playing this game. I guess in the TV adaptation, they end up meeting again, and she's at Milloway's, the restaurant at the end of the universe, which is described in the second book, which is called The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. But in the novels, in the original Hitchhiker's books, it's no, she just disappears and is never heard from again. He begins the novel depressed because at some point between books, they got separated, and he doesn't know if she's alive or not, and she was the love of his life. And then the fifth book goes on to have other kind of depressing, downbeat stuff happen. And then the sixth book, which again was written by somebody else after Douglas Adams died, tries to cheer things back up a bit, although it doesn't bring back Fenchurch. And I don't know, I see him looking, he just kind of looks grumpy And some of this is just my own, building my own headcanon. I don't know if it's true. But you see him in this game, he just looks a little grumpy. The dialogue, it's meant to be humorous, but he's like, perhaps you don't... My dream has been destroyed. My dream and life work has been destroyed. Perhaps you don't care about my dream. I don't particularly care about your house. It's like, ooh, I can't help but feel that all that's humorous, maybe that's like coming from the heart, and he really, he's just not thrilled to be here. So yeah, Starship Titanic. I remember thinking, oh, this is going to be great. It's because I think in the publicity material, like I remember goofing around with it in like an electronics store where they had a computer with a display copy, and I remember in a store before we owned the game, hearing the John Cleese bomb and the Eric Idle? It was one of the Pythons, the one who wrote the novel, doing the voice of the parrot, and it just felt like it was going to be this great Monty Python style game, and that was really it. Like, those two things were it for the Python influence. It's not like, it's like, yeah, do you want to get a game where all the Pythons get paid a bunch of money to do like 3 voice acted lines each and have nothing to do with creating the thing? Is that really going to make you feel great? Maybe not. But like, it was the little things that seemed like it was going to be this great game all got highlighted in like some kind of playable... I don't remember exactly how I came across it, but it was like in the store before I bought the game. There was like the, you would see stuff in the game. I guess it was like they used to program these display things to run in the stores, and they pulled out all the things that made it seem like it was going to be this really great, constantly hilariously funny game. And there was a lot of humor in it, but it's not a well-remembered game, I don't think. It's kind of not as famous to the extent that any of these games are famous. It's not as famous as like The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Infocom text adventure. And to be honest with you, I was going to do that game, and then I decided to do this because back when I was doing a couple of Infocom text adventures, I was using a different laptop, and it was a big pain in the butt to get DOSBox working, and I never got it working on my new laptop, and I just didn't feel like going to the trouble. I mean, that's really is the main reason I decided, I'll just drop $6 on Starship Titanic on good old games instead of trying to spend a bunch of time figuring out DOSBox again. And there you have it. I might do Hitchhiker sometime. I might do Bureaucracy sometime. I never played that. But it would be similar in that there would be a lot of humor, but there would also be nutty, nonsensical moon logic puzzles. I'd mostly just get a guide and go through the game, not figuring out much for myself, because if I'm doing that on camera, it's probably not that interesting. And to be brutally honest with you, if you know what to do from jump in these games and you just go through and do them, they end up being really, really short. But I got a few videos out of this one. As a matter of fact, I've now done enough chit-chat on this one that I'd have to think about splitting it after the fact, because I've now gotten it up to over 50 minutes. But either way, that's the end. I don't know why I'm having separation anxiety with this series, other than to say it just feels like this was a bit of an anticlimax of the game itself had an anticlimactic ending. That feels like an anticlimactic video. I'm not sure if there's a whole lot I could do to change that. But I kind of picked up Starship Titanic to play on the channel on a whim. And looking back, I'm kind of like, that wasn't really a great game. Probably wasn't a great Let's Play. But I hope you had some fun hanging out with your old friend, JG, your friend in the digital age. And to be brutally honest, I'm recording this a few weeks before Christmas, knowing that I'm going to get at least 1 or 2 PS4 games for Christmas, and I put a few things on my Amazon wish list for family that I know I want to start Let's Playing as soon as I have them in my hot little hands. So I kind of needed something that was going to keep one of my LP slots on my channel tied up until I get something better. So think of Starship Titanic as, for me, just kind of a stopgap. Douglas Adams' life, work, and dream has been destroyed. And I care. But I don't think he cares about my little channel. If anybody's bummed out, I'm under the impression that he had cause to cheer up a bit before the end of his life. It seems like, at least I've read interviews where he acknowledged that Mostly Harmless was a really depressing book, which means he must have gotten to some place where, at some point, someplace he had the ability to actually look back and realize it was depressing. Like, he must have gotten some kind of perspective on all of it. And if he was a little bummed out when he died, he was pretty fucking wealthy. He did okay money-wise, so he couldn't have been too bad off. He is famously an atheist, so I don't think he was, like, getting ready to... Like, I don't think he was planning to, like, go hang out with sci-fi writers in the sky, but, hey, you know what? If, I'm getting real deep now. If there is a God out there, and he's half as good as people thinks he is, or she is, or it is, they've probably find some room for somebody who's an atheist, but also like wrote really funny books and brought a lot of solace and a lot of comfort to a lot of people. And now I've gotten way too deep for a Let's Play of Starship Titanic. So let's just get out now. I'm the Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching. My life's work and dream is ruined, and I don't care about your house. Bye-bye.